So welcome to the Gyms Group podcast, and this is your number one research tool for coming into the Gyms family. And today we've got a really exciting episode because we've got a new division launching, which is Gyms Healthcare. Now this is one that Gyms wanted to do for a long time, and he had to wait for the right person to come along, and it's this man right here. So this is Paul Commerford, if you don't know. Paul Commerford's done Gyms building inspections and Gyms hazardous material removal as well, really successfully. So you built building inspections from the 2011 to the largest in Australia, and also hazardous material removal as well. So let's just start off first a bit about yourself. Why did you get involved with the Gyms Group, and why did you decide to start Gyms Healthcare?
Building inspections. My background is building, and I was a carpenter to start with, then became a builder, and saw a really good vehicle with Gyms Group and all gyms like franchising. Just wanted to do something different back in the day. With app development and doing reports in building inspection sector. So, it went quite well. Like, we invested and we put the hard work in, and we've got like 172 franchisees in that division now. So it's going quite well. The reason why I got into the healthcare sector is basically my skills and experience within the Gyms Group. Selling franchises, motivating people in new business, getting leads, getting their own work, just getting franchisees to have a successful business for their family and their future that they can sell down the track, really is something that excites me, and it makes me feel good when that happens. So exiting people from the system after they've been in for 6 years, 8 years, 10 years is quite a humbling experience. I get a bit of a kick out of it. So, Jared Rafferty is an old colleague, friend, and he's in the healthcare sector, and he's been on my back about Gyms Healthcare for a while. And, we finally had a good look at it and had a look at all the NDIS programs and nurses and healthcare workers in Australia, and what the gaps were and what the opportunities might be for Gyms Group to enter into the market. And there was a lot of things that tick boxes. So probably one of the big things was, as I mentioned before, was putting out a survey and putting our competitors within the healthcare sector out there, and putting Gyms Healthcare in there as well. A couple of thousand people responding to a survey that picked Gyms Healthcare. So the like and trust of the brand already before we even exist or started is a good way for myself to go into a new division with the Gyms Group, which is quite a big deal. There's quite a lot of work to do. There's a lot of manual processes with compliance and things going to the healthcare sector, a lot of insurance, but us taking on board all that over the last year and a half or so before we started, takes away the pain for a franchisee entering into the healthcare sector, running their own business. Having all that set up in the background that we take care of, and the franchisee just goes out and does their work. They're obviously still responsible for what they do and how they operate. Operate under a lot of same kind of thing that they're doing, but under our brand, we just think, clients will get a lot of benefit out of it. And we all follow the same structure, from a lead from the call centre to our complaint system to our compliance section, that we have here at Gyms Group. All those things that tick boxes with NDIS and the healthcare insurers, it all just makes sense, yeah.
You've built a division from scratch since 2011 to 170 franchisees, which is not easy. Most systems in Australia don't get past 10 franchisees, and we're a very franchise-heavy country. There's around 1,400 brands here, so it's a really pretty amazing achievement in itself. And you've done it again with Hazmat, building that to 30 plus as well, which is not easy. So with this one, how do you plan about? Hopefully, someone watching this can see. Well, you've got confidence in yourself and Jared because you've done this twice. Now this is another division which you're building from scratch. So how do you build a division, or what? How were you able to grow those divisions, and what's your plans for healthcare to do similar with this, what you've done with Gyms building inspections?
So I obviously got a lot of experience in the marketing and the like getting leads for work for franchisees and making them successful. One of the great things is just having good people around you at the divisional level. So having a back end staff support there with and everyone doing their role. So we're all working to a common goal, and that is usually like a number of franchisees. So for us, it's 50 to start with, and then 100, and then 150. So our team and our staff will support franchisees and make them successful because, as you know, when we get franchise inquiries for Jim's Healthcare, the first thing we want them to do is to talk to other franchisees. So basically the sell for us or getting new people to come on board is quite easy because we've already made, they're already successful or they're going well. So it's quite an easy thing for someone to come in. Of course, they'll get sent an info kit and an appendix about what their earnings could be, or if they're a nurse or a healthcare worker or a physio, depending on the money does change a little bit. But there's different sectors you can go into with whatever skills or expertise you're already in. So I think, just successful divisions. You have to invest in your people, and you have to have good people around you. It's a age-old thing that kind of works. Yeah.
Well, I did a bit of research for this with other providers and actually put in some inquiries with information packs to find out pricing. And I saw some that were 120 grand, another one's 75 grand.
Yeah.
And to my amazement, people are buying them because that's a very expensive investment for someone. And I know you guys will be cheaper than that. I don't know the exact price, I'm not going to say it, but people have to inquire to learn more.
Yeah.
You guys, from an entry point, you got the most recognised brand, or one of the most recognised brands in Australia, for one of the lowest entry points, which I think is quite amazing. And also people should understand that the system you've got for Jim's Healthcare is a system that works for 5,500 other franchisees in Australia and New Zealand, whereas the other systems that are out there, they only just do that.
Yeah.
But it's nowhere near as tested. Their support systems are rigorous as what Jim's is. So I think for you guys, if you're someone listening to this or watching this, you've got the access to the brand, but also one of the lowest entry point ones that I know from other competitors. And I would say look at your other do the research with the other people. But I think the opportunity with you guys is quite amazing.
Yeah, I think also the Jim's group itself, with over 5,000 franchisees around Australia, New Zealand, and a bit overseas, but is purely the fact that we don't take a percentage of the profit or the work that all the invoicing that you do for your clients, you keep that money. There's a fixed monthly fee, management fee that goes to your franchisor, and there's a marketing component as well, and there's a small lead fee. But your fees each month, you can pretty much budget to be around, vary a little bit with how many leads you take. But if you want to open yourself up for more work and for your staff or your employees as a franchisee, you might want to take more leads. So your monthly bill is going to be a little bit higher. But I think the success within what you're talking about is purely that we don't take, most other franchises around the world, they'll take, you earn 300,000, they'll skim off, like a good 20% of that or 18%. Whereas all the money that hard-earned money that you work towards in your own business, you keep, or there are fixed monthly fees, but it's easy to budget, it's easy to run a car and all those business expenses that you have. But we'd be happy to talk to anyone. That's part of our job, is to go through or put on the table what your business expenses will be and work out a very conservative profit or earnings that you will make. And we certainly don't overcook that at all. It's not in our favour to do that. It's much better when we put franchisees into in and on, and when we meet up with them weekly or monthly, we're well exceeding their expectations. Everything runs a lot smoother.
And you guys have already done this hundreds and hundreds of times.
Yeah.
So you know what works as well. So people coming in and leveraging off all that business experience you've got with starting up new franchisees. But the other thing I do want to mention, make it clear, because there is a misconception with gyms, is 30% off, Gyms takes 40%. And we try and work hard to try and address that. But you're right, the flat fee model, I would say to anyone watching this, looking at other home care franchises, is what's the actual fee model? I dare say it'd be a percentage of your turnover or your revenue. Whereas with gyms, as you said, Paul, is a flat fee. So the more you earn, the more you keep. So the person making 200 grand revenue to the $1 million, depending on lead fees, will pay the same.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, it is good. And I think just as you mentioned before, like some of our competitors within this space would just do healthcare or just do nursing or just do OT or but because we're doing all the services within the healthcare sector, but the bigger thing is that our mowers and our cleaners and a lot of our other divisions already work quite well within the NDIS system already. There's the cleaning division, especially the mowing division. A lot of those franchisees are quite used to like billing through the NDIS.
Laundry even as a heap.
Yeah, laundry. Yeah. So, it's like, so when we go to conference and other franchisees are talking to other franchisees, we're all in it together, I guess, like wearing the same brand. And clients do, although we're different divisions and we run our different divisions individually, all the franchisees, they do feel part as one. Yeah, so it makes sense. Yeah,
That's a great point what you said, and we do around 500,000 new customers every year, and a lot of that, mowing's a perfect example, laundry is a perfect example. They deal with those clients, they speak with these clients, older clients all the time, and just a simple conversation, they can say, we've just got Jim's home healthcare. If you're not happy with your person, give them a call. And there's a massive referral network with you guys, which is such an easy thing for our franchisees to work together with, because they want to give their client the best person possible, and if there's a Jim's person available, they'll do so.
Yeah, and I think the referral thing in the gyms group itself is good, because we don't, from division to division, there has been some referral programs sort of try to set up and you get a fee and that type of thing, but at the end of the day, it's just clients will ask us about another service, and we basically just tell clients to ring 131 546, and that happens all the time within other divisions, and there's referrals going on, but there's no you got that fee or you got that cut. So that's one of the best things about the gyms group and other divisions working together. We just don't really care about a lead fee or a referral fee, so clients are getting more value like that, just ringing the 131 546 number.
That's a very good point. Yeah. And I was going to say about as well, we've mentioned in another interview, which is on the website, which you can have a look at, but the people you're after, like, obviously it's a very hard leap to do your own business, right? So you've got maybe a nurse who's got a young kid or two, but is burnt out, wants to do something else, but is stuck. Yeah. So what would you sort of say to them in regards to maybe doing a transition into this? What would you advise them?
Yeah, just have a look at the website and see if it feels right or if it feels good for, like the like and feel of wearing the brand. Because once you do put the uniform on and start wearing the brand, you really have to be committed to the gym's name and the gym's community and all the things. So I would advise, there's a 3-day seminar or 3-day induction program that Jim's group put on, and you'll be sitting in with some antenna guys, test and tag, some laundry, some cleaning, some mowers, and that is a really good sense of if it feels right for you. I think just gut feel, because once you are a franchisee, it's not like you're an employee or a subcontractor. Like we don't just, you don't just go. You're part of the team. You're part of the family. We want you to stay for 10 years plus, and we want you to be able to sell your business down the track for quite a bit more money than you bought for. So, especially if you want to put employees and people on. So, existing franchises are quite attractive to outside buyers. So if someone's putting up their franchise for sale, and you've got a certain amount of turnover, there's quite an easy calculation that we can value your business on. But that won't happen in your first year of being a franchisee, or your second, possibly your third, easily possibly in your third.
What do you think stops people maybe starting the business or taking the leap? What's from your experience? Because you've seen a lot of people over the years and you've helped them start their business. Maybe let's talk about what stops people, or what's the thing that gets them over the line with you guys?
I think not trying to sell too much. Like, it's like the old salesman. Like, you get this, you get that, and I think it's almost like people make inquiries, and it's more an interview process for us as well. Like, we're kind of granting people territories or granting people a franchise. So I see, yeah, it's a bit of, it's not just like, I want to do it. I want to buy a franchise and I want to jump in. It's really, it's our job to make sure that they're the right fit, because, it might be, it might just look great, but you've got to go through those sort of hard or tough conversations about you've got to actually go out and do work. But I think in the healthcare sector, like, there's so many people to go and see for work without spending all our money on Google AdWords or Facebook or all the marketing stuff that we do. The pay for work guarantee part is massive in the healthcare, because there's different people in different sectors that you specialise in that we want you to go and see, and we'll actually pay you to go and see those people. So I don't know any other competitors that are doing that system. They're probably a bit scared of it.
It's a really good point, because you do see a lot of franchise with income guarantee advertised, and we advertise pay for work guarantee, and the income guarantee has a lot of stipulations from other mobs, and you might think it's for this, and then completely not. But as you said, we pay people to actually build your business and promote your business, and you get paid for doing those activities.
I'm not sure why other franchise businesses don't take that on board. Like, we're not, obviously we're not shy about talking about it or the model, because it works so well. So I'm quite confident, and we're quite excited about our divisional training that we do with new franchisees. Just working them through how to talk to clients, how to talk to a lead, what to do when they're not busy, and that's just, it's basic 101 of them growing their own business. Because it gets back to that thing, what your end game is, and we do want you to sell. Like, it's great for us if people are selling their business for quite a bit more than what they bought in for. So, yeah.
I think it's a really good opportunity. As you said, you can build up a really big client base with this one, and you can really tailor it. If you want to be just the sole trader and not have to do that, you can maybe have your clients and that's it. But if you do want to maybe run it from an office and have a whole bunch of people working for you, that's always an option as well.
Yeah, like one person can only really, some of the clients that we get might need some full-time care, or they might need part-time or just casual care. But realistically, like, if you have 5, maybe 6 clients yourself, and that might be only 10 leads from the call centre that we've given you, which isn't very much at all, as you know, per month. And you've converted, 70% of them, or even peg it down to 60%. 10 leads is going to get you some good clients for one person. So, I see, like, obviously we've got a system for everything, and on your app, if you want leads, you just virtually press a button and say, I'm available for work and want leads from the call centre, or I don't. So you can switch on and switch off. All those systems that Jim and the Jim's group have built over the years, it all comes into play with the healthcare division. It kind of works well. Like it's so expensive and so hard to build, like, things like call centres and every system. We pretty much have a system for everything. Of course you can do it, but just like companies would struggle, and it takes just so long and time. All the tech the millions of dollars that we've invested in tech,
It's a fantastic point, because if you're looking at multiple options, you're right. The infrastructure that's behind Jim's has been developed nearly 40 years now, and refined and refined and refined. And other existing, maybe other home care franchises just don't have those systems. They really don't, and haven't been tested. And you mentioned about the flexibility of the Jim's online system, which is a great thing to point out. So if you've got young kids and you don't want to take leads from a certain hour, or you don't want to work Fridays or something, as you said, you can literally just log into Jim's online, switch yourself off, and you won't get any leads in that area. Or you might want to restrict your leads to only your territory as opposed to taking them from everywhere. Maybe we want to talk about then the territories themselves. So people might go, I want to buy the franchise, what's included from that? Do you want to talk about the territory maybe and everything else that comes with it?
So your territory basically is just where you live, really, if it's available and it hasn't been taken yet. And it's roughly about 10,000 households. There's no way known. You just work in your territory. None of the divisions work like that. You basically, when you come on board, we sit down with you and we draw a map around how far you're willing to work or take a lead. So that means go and see a client. So it could be an hour's drive, could be an hour and a half's drive. So you'll draw a map and you'll receive leads in that big circle of areas. Your territory is a place where you can exclusively market yourself, which isn't really a big thing because we know that there'll be plenty of leads for you within the radius. So you can have a couple of different radiuses on your system. The other one is local areas. So you might be on for all areas, or you might be on for local areas, or you might be on for just territory only. But so there's a couple of different options. You also can make yourself zones. So you might have a place where you drop the kids to school, or have a holiday place somewhere, and you want to zone that area, so you only receive leads in those zones. But just like even building those things and the algorithm that we've got from the call centre through FMS, our system, that allocates leads for those services to that franchisee it's pretty hard to build, so I think we're lucky to have all that back-end infrastructure, and that tech.
And it's fair, and that's the good thing, because there's been some media stuff with other franchises about lead allocation from franchisees and claims and stuff, and ours is all done by an algorithm. It's all computers. It's done by the call centre, and it goes through a system. It's nothing to do with us. So the lead, the person who's supposed to get the lead will get the lead based on basis of contracts. And, we don't manually allocate leads or nothing like that. It goes via our system, which I think is a really important thing to point out, because I know a lot of other ones don't do that. Yeah,
and it's one thing our call centre does well, and our franchisee can turn off or on for it. But when a client calls the call centre, the call centre can actually patch you. Yep. If you're down for work and you want leads, you'll be the call centre will say Joel's available right now and can be patched straight through. So you're actually talking to the person that's going to come and see you straight away. And I think within the healthcare sector, that's quite a big difference. Like if you ring one of our competitors for a service, like mum or dad are at home and they need care, and there's just nowhere to start really on the internet. It's just a big flurry of where do I go or what do I do. So by ringing the call centre and then talking to one of the great people at the call centre, and then patching you through to a franchisee who really knows and understands, and that's potentially someone that you'll be going to be working with or they'll be helping, is a great advantage,
Oh, it's a great point, yeah. And the franchisees have that option to get leads patched straight through to them on their phone as well in real time. So that's something they can do. And you mentioned the great call centre, which is something, we've got more than 50 to 40 people on site who've been doing it for many years, and the call centre is a massive advantage. And a reason why a lot of people like using gyms is because we have an Australian-based call centre, and people who know a lot about the service and what they need. Yeah, like
so if someone needs a service, like one of our customers, for any sector of the healthcare part, just the fact that we answer our phone within 10 seconds, or 9 seconds or whatever it is now, and be able to talk to someone is great, Leaving an online form they can also do, but I think still a majority of the people just like to talk to someone. Yep. So that's something we can actually put our hat on and say that we do,
It's quite interesting, because you think with all the AI and messaging and stuff that's come in place that the call centre would decrease, and it, people think it'd be this massive drop, and it hasn't been. Still, the older generation especially still love calling up and having someone listen to them and find out exactly what they need and provide them with the right person.
No, for sure. And then the fact that their call centre team can patch you straight through to a franchisee is even better. So,
and that infrastructure, people should also know, is that Jim probably pays a lot more than what he needs to for that, because he wants to have it overstaffed and make sure the staff are looked after well as well. So you're not just getting an offshore, with another system. You're getting and they base their head office here as well. So
in Melbourne,
Jim goes in there every day and looks at the thing and see if they've been too long on the phone or whatever it is, and always wants more standards. So it's a really we don't sell it enough sometimes. It's a really part of our system.
No, you're right. And we can talk about all different parts of our FMS system and things that we've built over the years, and developed the tech better and improved it. Even the stuff you do on social media has really improved over the last 5, 6, 7 years. So I think that's Jim's ethos is he'll wake up in the morning and how can I improve something or how can I better something? And
Never satisfied. You can't you can't take a day. I thought we got to 5,000 franchisees and I'd be relaxing a bit.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
We want 10,000 now.
And we do invest back into our back end system a lot, which is great. A lot of companies will just sit on their tech or sit on their systems for a period of 10 years or so, and then do a big overhaul and redevelop everything. But we've built some pretty great stuff over the years. Yeah, it's good.
And I was going to say, with this division, how big do you think it can get to? Honestly, what would your hopes to be for?
Joking with Jim before. Yeah. Oh, it wasn't a joke, but bigger than mowing, so over 2,000. But no, I think it's fair to say, we'll aim for those targets over the next. Our first one will be 50, the next one will be 100, then 150, and I think over it's over 3 years up to 150 is fairly conservative. So just with the amount of work that's out there for people and how we can make people successful, just with basically the same things we do, mentoring from the franchisor to run your own business, and the six weekly meetings that they'll attend with people in their franchise group in their region that they'll get a lot out of, and just wearing the brand that when people see you out in the street, you're driving around in a car and people like and trust the brand. And when you rock up to the door, again, just people like and trust the brand. They know everyone's got a police check. They know if something goes wrong, they can call the call centre. Just those little 1%ers are a big thing for a client, I think, to be safe and happy.
And I think in this industry now as well, with all the media around it, I think having that trusted brand in the space with gyms is going to be a really important thing for people. And people don't realise probably just how important it is sometimes for people when they make a decision between maybe a gyms or something else. It's just such a deciding factor, as you said, is the trust. And if something does happen, we've got the backup. And also, I want to outline for prospects who are watching this or maybe watching this is that not only did Paul mention the support about the franchisees in regards to being good customer service and different things like that, you guys have definitely got tough standards put on you as franchisors in regards to your support from Jim himself.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
So not only is it you come in and you let go, you mentioned things like support before, but it's a really strict support system as well that you've got to provide franchise owners.
Yeah, there's, as a franchisor in this, any division or in the gyms group, making calls, looking after franchisees is number one. Making calls, making sure they're supported. And good franchisors, they do it really well, and they run regions and have all their team just totally happy. But it takes work, so it's pretty tough being a franchisor sometimes. But once you got the hang of it, it's a good thing. Yeah.
Because I think there's support in gyms. Everyone says, we support franchisees, but I think our support is really support. Not only do they have yourself, they've got Jim himself, who gives every franchisee the mobile number, and if they're not feel as though they're getting supported, they go to Jim, and that as well. So they've got extra backup when they come into the gyms group.
Yeah. Well, it happens in divisions as well. Like for the franchisee, if they don't feel they're supported by the franchisor, they'll call the divisional office, and there's someone at division can handle their issue. If it's not, it'll come to me. If I can't handle it or one of the divisional owners can't handle it, it'll go to national, and then it ultimately goes to Jim. And it's quite tough on franchisors if they're not if the franchisee's not getting looked after. So, but yeah, look, we really have problems. Most people that vetting franchisees at the start and making sure they really want to go into their own business and they feel comfortable with the brand and they're bought in type thing is the only way. And it rolls pretty smoothly after that because we have a process and a procedure for pretty much everything. But they do, at the end of the day, a franchisee does run their own business and they're responsible for their own things. So if they want to work hard, it's a great vehicle for them to be successful and also sell their business down the track. Yeah. No, we'd love to talk to anyone that wants to come and it's the right fit for them. And you're prepared to run your own business. Working for yourself is hard, but there's really good rewards. So if you're prepared to do that and wear our brand and follow all the compliance things that we'll put in front of you, which isn't hard at all. It's like clean uniform, clean car, just do the right thing by the client, get really good customer reviews through all our Google things that we do, or we'll market and brand your own business for you. We'll help you do all that. There's not much you can really step out of line, especially if you're already in the healthcare sector. You sort of follow some guidelines already.
Yeah, and a lot of healthcare people already work hard enough already. Yeah. So I think the work ethic for hopefully most people was not a problem. I think they were doing a lot of paperwork and stuff, and I think you've all got those systems in place. So it's literally just transferring those things they're already doing, but doing it with themselves with what you've got in the support. And it just seems like it's actually sounds like from me anyway, from what you've been saying, it's actually going to be a lot easier transition for a lot of people with this division as it would be for some other gyms divisions where you're completely changing industry, whereas with this, you're still doing the same work. You're just stepping into doing it for yourself and not cutting out that middleman, and you've got all the assistance you have with the technology available. It just sounds like an absolute no-brainer.
Yeah. No, well, as I said, a week and a half old, and there's a lot of activity that we've got to get through. So, we'll just, as I said, we'll make sure that they're the right fit for us as well. It's not just a matter of I want in, and we need to vet to make sure that you're going to be successful when we take you on board as a franchisee, because you're not an employer, you're not a subby. You kind of, it's a big deal being a gym's franchisee.
You're a business owner.
Yeah.
So Paul, if they want to learn more, what do they need to do?
Call 131 546, or you can just go to our website and make an inquiry. There's a form there. If you don't want to talk to anyone, just fill out the form and we'll get back to you. But if you do want to chat to someone, just call 131 546, and we may not talk to you straight away, but we will get back to you pretty quickly. Yeah.
And now's a great opportunity, as you said, because the division's just started. So you pick up your territory, you're going to get to pick up the clients.
Yeah.
So now is the time.
Good opportunity.
Don't wait, get in. So
yeah.
Thanks very much for your time today, Paul. And hopefully if you are interested in, just take action with it, because there's no obligation. You come to training for, and see what's about. We don't require you to sign a contract, unlike other people. So please take him up on the offer and call 131 546, and we'll hope to hear from you soon.